Aloha, everyone. Hope you're having a glorious day. Asking someone if they know Jesus or if they follow him, often I get a response, a reply, "No, I'm not religious." Usually they are thinking of religious as something like this. But it turns out everyone is religious. We may express our worship in different ways, like yelling for our team, or telling everyone about the amazing meal we ate at the new restaurant, or the priestly garb that we dress up in. We just have different religions. At the most basic level, at the most foundational level, religion is admitting there is something very wrong in the world and we should do something about it, even if fleeting or brief, to make it better. What's your brand of religion? Success, productivity, wealth, consumerism, popularity, academia, power? Our appetites never satisfy for these things. But worse yet, as we pursue them, we can contribute to the poverty, suffering, and injustice all around. And we are aware of it. It's called guilt. So who do you worship? What is the ultimate power you follow? In what do you hope and trust will alleviate the wrong in the world or the pain you feel? Whatever it is we try, we don't get ourselves or the world corrected. We never right the wrong. It ultimately fails, and evil still persists. For all our learning and advanced culture of sociology and psychology, law and government, we still have crime. We still have bad things that happen. Our human attempts ultimately fall short. God sees something wrong in the world and in us, and he does something to correct the wrong. But he didn't fail. See, people trusting and following the way of Jesus today is proof God did not fail at this mission. Jesus is not a religion we do, it is a relationship we have daily. Jesus was a lens to see God clearly, like a telescope, to see something seemingly far away, but Jesus brought God up close and personal. Jesus announced his kingdom has values like self-sacrifice instead of self-serving. He allowed us to view a standard of how to be perfect. So, this kingdom of God, in order to live this out, it's living with love instead of fear and hate. It's living with forgiveness instead of revenge. It's living with humility instead of prideful arrogance, or being charitable instead of greedy, courageous for God instead of being cowardly, ambitious instead of complacent, and truthful instead of deceptive and dishonest, meek instead of controlling, and orderly instead of chaotic. And everyone knows they can't live up to that standard. But Jesus steps into history and says, I can, see me, hear my voice, and follow me. See, Jesus was against a self-righteous religion, a religion whereby we thought we were good enough to save ourselves. He spoke out against Pharisees who taught their brand of religion made them better than others. So when someone tells me I'm not religious, I tell them, yeah, me neither. Because most of what people call religion goes like this. Do these things and you can earn God's favor. But saying all the Hail Marys in the world is not going to make things right in the world. The world is plenty religious, and despite all the religious acts, it seems humans cannot put the world right. It's about this point that my I'm not religious friend says, see, that's why all religion is bad. But have you ever stopped to wonder, what are the differences between religions? Well, in order to understand the differences, we would have to read the Bible and other religious texts to understand their practices. And what you would find is the Pujari try to do meditation, yoga, depriving themselves of pleasures like fasting or other comforts of life, and they study the Vedas, the books of knowledge in Hinduism. Or Buddhist monks, they try living the Four Noble Paths and the Eightfold Pathway, leading to an end of suffering. They study the Tripitaka of Buddhism and rabbis. Well, they try to follow the 613 mitzvot, or commandments of the Tanakh, Midrash, and Talmud for Judaism. Or imams and Muslims, they try to do the 5 pillars of Islam, studying the Quran and the Sunnah, the Hadith and the Sirah for Islam. But when you read this book, you find earn God's favor. All the major religions of the world operate on the principle of, I obey, therefore I'm accepted by God. The basic operating principle of God's kingdom from this book is, I'm accepted by God through the work of Jesus Christ. Therefore, I obey. God's plan was to give us a gift we don't deserve. He gives the gift of His Son every time to everyone. We show our gratitude and acceptance of this gift when we admit we need it. When we admit we need Jesus to save us. So the question is, do we try to do religion through shopping, football, or partying? How about following a rule book or some practice to earn the favor of God or the universe? Or do we let God be God and allow Him to do the task of making us right? Do we let Him be the guide to make the world better? See, God made the world, only He can make it right, because He has the building plans and the instruction manual. That's logic. That makes sense. So common sense also informs you that living life, self-serving, full of fear and hate, revengeful, and prideful, arrogant, greedy, cowardly, complacent, deceptive and dishonest, controlling, chaotic, these cause division and isolation in relationships, in community, and ultimately in civilization. And that makes you also, living this way, feel disconnected from God. And the truths, the claims of Jesus, well, they're verifiable. You just have to take the time and energy to go check them out yourself. And answering who is Jesus, well, that's extremely important, because Christianity, if false, is of no importance. If true, is of infinite importance. The only thing it cannot be is moderately important. But you decide. You get to decide after investigating. Is Jesus a liar? Is He a lunatic? Is it just a legend that people made up? If you can't reject any of those, and I don't think you can if you honestly look into the case, well, then that changes everything, because He is God incarnate who walked among us. With so much evidence, why do people still reject Jesus? Well, there's many reasons, but many times, they want to do what they want to do. They want to be free. They want to feel sexual liberation and sleep with whoever they want. Or they have no respect for who God is and the sacrificial gift that He has given you and me. They love pleasure and the love of culture or man's praises more than God. They don't want to be bothered by the way following Jesus is going to reorder their life. And some even say God should provide a miraculous sign in order for them to believe. Well, to that, God said, not even a risen dead man will convince you, because God did give us a miraculous sign. So with all this wealth of evidence, it's easier for my friend to just retreat into saying, oh, I'm not religious. Well, then he can avoid dealing with the truth that no pujari, no monk, no Muslim, no guru, not Buddha, not Muhammad, or any other religious person has made a claim of conquering death with a resurrection.